Alright guys, so lately I've been bombarded with a ton of comments and tweets asking me what are my thoughts on the possibility of a settlement happening in the SEC vs Ripple case, especially after the CEO of Ripple came out and announced that the lawsuit is going to end by the start of 2023. And so I decided to dedicate this video just to you guys, in which we are going to talk about the likelihood of an actual settlement happening before 2023, what do I believe is going to happen, and what we should look for in the future if a settlement were to happen or if a settlement weren't to happen. So there's going to be a very detail oriented video. Watch it till the end. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with post notifications, and let's get right into it. Now, if you don't know, earlier this week there was some news that the Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse stated that he expects an answer in the SEC case by the first half of 2023. Now, there was a lot of speculation as to what that actually meant. Some people said that, it was just an idea, because in the past he had said that he expected an answer in the end of 2022. Now he says the beginning of 2023. Other people decided to say that it was probably because of a settlement where it was already in negotiations and now they finally agreed on a date, but he doesn't want to release it. And others have actually said that it was just a schedule that was put in place, and the likelihood of the lawsuit ending in 2023 is a possibility, and so that's why he stated it. Now, before I directly jump into what I think, let's go ahead and hear some thoughts of some other people around the crypto community, and more importantly, some people that are around the XRP community. First one we have is the digital asset investor, somebody that's quite known in the XRP community, and this is what he said. He says, what if Ripple SEC settlement involves XRP's escrow agreement overseen by the Treasury? Gary leaves the SEC for the Treasury after settlement. What if? So if we want to just focus in on the settlement portion of what he's trying to say, basically he thinks that there's going to be a settlement. Another opinion in the crypto community that has talked about this is XRP Europe, which says, theory, settlement done but conditions to be completed before announced publicly. First thing is to stop the escrow release out to third parties. Second is to reduce Ripple validator. Third is approved at closed sunshine meeting at 4th of October. Explains recent lull on case / Hinman emails. So once again, a lot of people have actually thought that a settlement is currently in the makes. Now, I want to go back to this tweet specifically right here where, he's talking about the escrow. The reason why he mentioned the escrow is because normally almost every single year at the 3rd of October, Ripple ends up taking a billion XRP out of the escrow. But this year things were different. For the first time, Ripple has not moved 1 billion XRP out of the escrow as new months begin. Now, this is crucial to understand because a short while after this article was released, it was actually a statement by the CEO Brad Garlinghouse that stated that they are going to be probably ending up the lawsuit by the end of 22 or the beginning of 2023. So a lot of people have just stated that these are probably linked together because of the timing, especially now where normally they're supposed to do it. They've been doing it for years. All of a sudden they stopped doing it. There must be some type of correlation. Now, on top of this, guys, as we spoke about earlier or in previous videos, there is a couple big things that are happening. First off, as you guys found out, the advocacy reports that were by two of the biggest companies basically got accepted here, Iramits and Tabjets. They were allowed to intervene in this lawsuit, and they've officially, and I mean it guys, it is official now as about 4 hours ago right here, they formally filed their advocacy brief in support of the Ripple defendant's motion for summary judgment. They were accepted a couple days ago to be able to intervene, and now they've officially put in their information. Judge Torres was very good, very quick. She allowed them to go ahead and intervene, which is really good. But on top of that, earlier we got a company that went out and said that they are going to try and file to intervene in the lawsuit as well, especially as they have actually been a big partner with Ripple. So another company here about to stand and support Ripple within the lawsuit versus the SEC. That is extremely good, and I can probably bet, highly that this one is going to be accepted as well. This company is going to be accepted as well to intervene, especially since the previous two companies were accepted. So again, some very good news here, and it's only going to keep getting better. Now, back to the video and the purpose of this video, which is talking about the probability of a settlement in my personal opinion, because this is not financial advice and I'm not looking to get sued, so don't invest unless you do your own research and don't take my opinion on anything. This is pure opinionated information. So what do I think about the possibility of a lawsuit? I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys and honest, because I've been honest since the start of this channel. All right, here's my take on this. the first thing that I want to make clear is that I do believe that there are settlement negotiations. And to me, this is something that's quite obvious. Lately, they've just been a little bit nicer to each other, the SEC and Ripple, and normally, judging by past experiences, this only happens when there are settlement negotiations on the table. Now, do I believe that there is a set in stone date and time that this is when the settlement is going to be complete and, you know, here we're going to announce? No, I don't think there's anything formal yet. I think they're just chit-chatting really, where they're discussing, okay, maybe they're getting a bit closer to that formalization, but I don't think anything is set in stone. Nothing is written that they're going to settle as of to this date. Another thing that makes me say this is because of the fact that Ripple has gotten so many wins that the SEC is put in a very bad situation. Either they could lose the lawsuit or they could settle with Ripple. And we know what's the best option if you're given those. Definitely a settlement. Now, the reason why I say this is because the Ripple case is going to make or break the entire crypto community. If Ripple were to lose this lawsuit versus the SEC would be able to sue every single company and use the Ripple case as a method to showcase that every single company is breaking the rules and regulations, and that since they won the Ripple case, they should be able to win all the rest. And to be honest, it would be a very valid point, and I believe the judge would actually give them the win. Now, if you were to flip the scenario and say Ripple were to have won the lawsuit and the SEC were to have lost the lawsuit, then it would be used against the SEC. Anytime that the SEC would try and sue any cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency would reference the Ripple case and thus would automatically pretty much win the case. And those are two valid situations. This is why whenever we talk about the Ripple case, it is bigger than just Ripple or XRP. This is the cryptocurrency case for the industry. If the Ripple team were to lose this lawsuit, it would be the end of cryptocurrencies in general. Especially when you hear Gary Gensler come out and say 99.999% of cryptocurrencies are securities, you can automatically know that he's going to go after every cryptocurrency possible that is in his will. Anything he wants to attack, he's going to attack, and we know he wants to attack every cryptocurrency except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if you invest in any cryptocurrency, whether it's ADA, Chainlink, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, all of these cryptocurrencies are going to be eliminated if the Ripple team were to lose this lawsuit. So again, this is a big case. Now, this is why I say the settlement is probably likely, because at this point, we've reached a situation that the SEC has lost every single possible defense that they have. When we talk about William Hinman, there's proof, there's the ability to show that William Hinman was speaking on behalf of the SEC. Now, the SEC's defense is that it was his personal opinion. But if you have the proof to showcase that this is not his personal opinion, then the SEC's point is invalid. And that's what's happening right now. There's proof to show that it's William Hinman speaking on behalf of the SEC. On top of that, there's a bunch of conflict of interest documentation that show that the SEC was involved in a ton with the Ethereum Foundation, and that's what triggered them to say it is a currency and not a security. So there's a bunch of issues there. There is just so many, evidence points against the SEC that it is a guaranteed loss. And at this point, the judge even sees it. That's why the judge is giving everything to Ripple. So I think that the SEC knows they're in a losing case. What they're trying to do now is just delay so that they can make Ripple lose as much money as possible, and then they can come out with a settlement at the very end. And the entirety of that purpose would be so that maybe they can have a few talking points when they're on the settlement table by threatening Ripple that we're going to make you lose a lot of money if you don't accept this lawsuit. And to be honest, for Ripple's end, it shouldn't really matter. Whether it's a settlement or a win, it's a win for both. Because if you think about it the way of a settlement, if they are able to settle by getting everything that they would have gotten if they were to win the lawsuit, then might as well settle and reduce the amount of monetary losses that you have and get on the grind right away, rather than having to go ahead and wait until the lawsuit is done. And now, if Ripple tells the SEC we are not settling under any circumstance, the SEC is going to get pissed. And what's going to happen is they are going to delay this lawsuit forever and ever and ever. And we know how long they can delay. This is a lawsuit that should have taken a year that is going to take 3 instead. So the idea here is they're trying to play the delaying tactic to put Ripple in a situation where they're kind of forced to accept the lawsuit. And to Ripple, it doesn't really matter as long as they get what they want. So either or, it's a win for Ripple. Those are my takes on this lawsuit, to be honest. Those are my takes on a settlement. In short, I'll summarize it to you guys now. I believe there is going to be a settlement. It is currently in the work. It's not a strict basis, so there isn't a date and time. It's not formalized yet, but they are talking about a possibility of a settlement. Now, if you guys stay tuned on the channel, I'll constantly update you on this, guys, because to be honest, for me, the most research I do is within technical analysis, lawsuit, and when I even look at the lawsuit in general, I look at key points like the possibility of a settlement, possibility of a win. And those are the points that I write down, I keep notes of, because to me, a settlement is the most likely option out of this lawsuit, a settlement or a win. So any points that I can kind of grab that can add to me connecting the dots towards a settlement or towards a win is what I constantly keep track of. So I'm really focused on the settlement aspect of things just because I think it is insanely likely. Everything kind of points to the direction of there's probably going to be a settlement. This is why I think even when, you hear that the SEC of Ripple came out and said that he expects an answer from this lawsuit by the first half of 2023, to me, there is a possibility that this is part of the settlement negotiations where they've kind of discussed that if any settlement were to happen, it would have to end by the end of 2023. Otherwise, they go ahead and continue till the end of the lawsuit. So I think when he said that there's going to be an answer in the SEC case by the first half of 2023, he's indirectly meaning that he's going to get an answer by the SEC as whether they want to settle or not. And the key thing here as to why I say this is because the choice of wording. He doesn't say he expects an outcome in the SEC case by the first half of 2023. Because if you were to say outcome means as a result of. So as a result of the SEC Ripple case, we'll get a result by the first half of 2023. To me, that would have made sense, and I would have thought, okay, that means he's just hinting toward probably a timeline of when the lawsuit's going to end. But the fact that he used the word answer is more of a direct person to person. That's why we say, can you answer me? Because that means you're talking to an individual that you have spoken to before. And the way he worded his sentence proves to me that indirectly he's hinting that there's a settlement because he's using words that wouldn't be used because of a result that you're going to be getting. He didn't use any words like outcome or result, or he didn't even mention the word lawsuit. So to me, he's indirectly not talking about the lawsuit, and only people that are going to have understood the way he worded his sentence and really connected the dots are going to understand that, yes, the way he's kind of speaking is an indirect hint because he can't tell you we're going to settle. He's not allowed to do that. So he's kind of hinting to everybody, okay, man, calm down. This lawsuit's almost over. We've almost, talked about a settlement. We're getting very close to kind of finalizing it. So get prepared that by the first half of 2023, it's most likely going to be public and official. So exciting news. I personally can understand that. I think that's what's happening. Now, whether you guys differ your opinions, that's perfectly fine. I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me on Twitter, everybody, at CryptoGeekNews. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're getting really close to bringing 12,000 subscribers, which is extremely exciting. But that's the end of the video. I don't want to make it too long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.